what's up? Welcome back to Star Hunters videos, and today we're going to talk about Tristana. I would like to start doing little, few minute info videos about each champion I love and adore so much, and today we're just gonna be spending on Tristana. So Tristana is a range and she's recommended. She's a carry. She is one of my personal favorites and one I find myself playing a lot. She has some great skins, and one of my personal favorites is actually the Rocket Girl Tristana, one I really would like to get. Also, as you can see up here, her attack power is very high. Her defense power is about average, I would say. I mean, maybe a little bit lower than half, but it's not bad. Her ability power is quite low as well. And her difficulty is, well, very easy. I found myself, kind of just picked her up one day and just kind of went from there with her. So, very easy, very fun to play. And I also recommend her. Her abilities are QW, as all other champions. And I really think her abilities are very cool. Her, animations to go along with her abilities are excellent. And all around, she's amazing. So, with her rapid fire, when you press it, she just increases her attack speed for a short time. Doesn't really show much, but her gun lights on kind of blue fire, which is very cool. Very cool animation, so. That's her Q. Her W is she fires to the ground to propel herself a short distance. And when she lands, she deals damage, and she slows surrounding units for 3 seconds. So it looks like that. She just aims like that, and then she just lands, and where she lands, she slows them, and she deals damage for 3 seconds. Her E is very cool, but a little bit, misunderstood, I feel. I didn't quite understand this until I read a little bit. So this is what it looks like. You fire at an enemy, and it kind of puts this little hardened swords over their head. Now what this is she fires this cannonball at an enemy, and he, to the surrounding enemies, it deals damage as well, but also it does damage over time to her target. So she fires it, and then that target with the little symbol above his head is her, is the one that gets the damage dealt over time. And it also can be, it also reduces healing. So, I find myself using this a lot now that I understand it, and I find myself, when I put this on an enemy, if he's running to his turret, and you find yourself shit, if I keep on running, I'm gonna get attacked by the turret, which is very, not the smartest idea, because turrets do a lot of damage. So, I find myself quickly putting this on the target, the enemy, and, when he's very low health, and it just takes down his health, and he can't heal over time. So it's very useful when, it's in a tricky situation like that, and you're like, oh, I just need one more hit on him. You just put this on, and then you wait a little bit, and it comes up as you got a kill. Very cool, very useful. Her ultimate now, one of my personal favorites of an ultimate. Let's check this out. Pushes them back. A lot, actually. So, she loads a massive cannonball into her weapon and fires at an enemy unit. It deals magic damage and knocks the target back a tremendous amount. Now, we'll also go over this later on in her tips, but something I find myself using a lot is the rocket jump and the buster shot combo. What I mean by this is take a look back at the rocket jump. Okay, so you jump. So let's say your enemy right there. So you jump to your enemy, you turn around, get the angle correct, and you use your buster shot. And this allows you to jump to your enemy, and then push your enemy back to your allies. To where, if he's running away, you quickly jump to him and say, "Nuh-uh, I don't think so, buddy," and push him back to your allies. Which is very cool, because then they can help support you, and you get them killed with the help of your allies. So her abilities are very cool. But, personally for me, it's not all about the abilities, it's not all about the strength, the power. I much find it very cool also to read the lore. Now this lore, to be honest, I haven't read it until actually today, but just before I did this video. And I was thinking, like, very interesting, and you really get a sense of who they are. You really get a sense of, hey, yeah, I know these people better. You kind of like get a connection with them, and for me, I love the connections with the characters. For some reason, it kind of helps you play them better, right? Because you're in there, you're in the zone, you know them better. So I'm going to go along and read this for you. The little quote is at the top. If there's one person I trust to take on a difficult mission, it's Tristana, all day long. And that quote was said by Timo. Now, Tristana's lore. The Meekling Commandos are something of a legend in Bando City. They have a history that spans centuries, and they remain the oldest Yodel military unit and still in service. They are renowned for their courage, deadliestness, and ruthlessness, making them the most respected and feared of all warriors in Bando City. Legends of Meekling, the valiant founder of the Commandos, are still heard throughout Valinor's taverns. It was these legends that most fascinated a young Tristana, since she was a wee child. Tristana wanted nothing more than to become the crack shot that her idol had been all those years ago. She trained her entire life until she finally was old enough to join the military and able to earn her place among the Meekling Commandos. The senior officers were impressed by her abilities, claiming that Tristana was a natural, and her dream was realized that day that she donned her Meekling fatigues. Though her heart lies with her unit, the call to the League of Legends was irresistible, and now Tristana protects Bando City as a champion. While intense and focused as a Meekling gunner, Tristana is remarkably different in her personal life. Outside the fields of justice, she is friendly and cheerful, the sort of Yodel who always has a kind word for everyone. Tristana recently struck up a close friendship with Timo, the Swift Scout. They are both members of the Bando City Special Forces, so not only do they bond as Yodels, but also as fellow warriors and champions, though she outright ignores any question betraying to a blossoming romance. So that was her lore, and when I read that, I was like, wow, I would have had no idea, which is actually kind of funny that, her and Timo might have a little something going on there, because I played Timo too, and I was just falling in love with both of them. And reading this now, I can totally kind of, see the connection between those two. Not that really I remember Timo's lore a lot, but they seem very similar, in my opinion. So pretty much it just says, she had a dream, and she fulfilled her dream, met Timo, finally kind of having a crush on him. I feel like that's what they're saying, but you never know. I'm sure that's what they're saying there, though. So very cool lore. Now, I think another thing, whenever you are learning a champion, is you should always read the tips. Even if you're learning a champion, or if, let's say you battle up against a champion, and then you're like, wow, he's really tough. I find myself, up against this champion a lot, and I don't know what to do in this situation. These tips can really help a lot. So let's read them. So when you're playing as Tristana, you should know that her massive gun allows her to fire on targets at a great distance. Utilize this to prevent your enemies from ever laying a hand on you. You should also know that Tristana uses her rocket jump to leap over an enemy, and then she uses the buster shot to send them flying back to her allies, which is like I mentioned. But you should be careful when you're using this strategy in large team fights. So, be wary of that. Just be careful. Using the active ability on Explosive Shot can be useful early game to prevent the other team from healing or using health potions. So, we talked about Explosive Shot a lot. That's kind of like the damage over time one that prevents them from healing. And it's just saying if you put them on, it prevents them from healing or using health potions. Because even if they use health potions, they won't heal up as much with that on them as they would without that on them. So keep that in mind. Also, playing against Tristana can be quite tough if you never really played her, or know, a lot about her. So, playing against Tristana, you should, like, if you see Tristana activate her rapid fire in a fight, that you should stun her and try to back off until the spell dissipates. Because, like we said, like we saw in the overview, she does wicked amounts of damage. And if you get that rapid fall, it's like double the damage on you. So really be mindful, really be cautious of that. You should also know that, like, you should stand away from your creeps in the lane to take less collateral damage from explosive shot. So, like we said, when she fires that explosive shot, it also does surrounding damage. And if you're with your minions or with your allies, you should stand quite, you should, like, separate yourself so that they don't take damage as well. So be mindful of that. And yeah, so that's about pretty much all you need to know about Tristana. All it tells you here. And she's really cool. I totally recommend her. Totally recommend some of her skins. They're adorable skins, and she's not that hard to play. So if you think about playing her, really give her a shot. Try it out a couple matches. Read her tips.